Today, I'm delighted to have no less than Carlo Valenzona, a filmmaker and producer, as my special guest on the EUYouTalk. Carlo is the person behind award-winning films such as On the Ground, The Right to Kill, and the Netflix series Amo. Welcome, Carlo, at EUYouTalk, which is our way of engaging with Filipino achievers. Let me start by asking you maybe to run us the process of becoming a filmmaker in the Philippines, from your personal experience.
Okay. First of all, thank you so much for having me here today. It's an honor to meet you. I'm a Filipino film producer. I started in the industry as an assistant line producer to the late Larry Castillo. He was Brillante Mendoza's producer. Mm-hmm. And then I started producing short films. Eventually, I stepped up as a producer of Brillante Mendoza's films. And it went to many festivals. It went and it won awards in many festivals, so
Sure.
Especially in Europe. So I was able to travel and I was able to represent our country with him to different festivals in Europe. Brillante Mendoza is known as award-winning director, mm-hmm. and his films went and won a lot of awards in the A-list festivals like Cannes, Venice, and Berlin. I'm so honored to have worked with him and trained with him as a producer.
So you learned the rope with obviously a master, but did you have a formal education in cinema?
To be honest, I didn't have, and I did not study in a film school.
Right.
I would say I'm a late bloomer. I just watch movies and TV shows as a form of entertainment. When I worked with him, that's when I got, I would say, formal education, hands-on training on filmmaking, on the filmmaking process. For me, my experience in working with Brillante Mendoza was the film education and training. I wish I studied before during my school days or during my college. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So it's really a great feeling because I'm learning a lot. I was able to meet film industry people through him. We showcase mm-hmm. Filipino films, Filipino stories mm-hmm. to them.
Let's take a step back. Where did you grow up?
I used to watch Superman movies with my dad.
Okay.
I was able to enjoy my childhood watching films with him. I consider my dad as my hero. When I was 10, my mom and dad got separated. Mm-hmm. I stayed with my mom. We moved from one place to another. My dad, he went to the States and I never saw him again until I learned that he has a new family. And then eventually my mom also had a new family. So that was a life experience that I would say I've learned a lot, so much. And it has influenced my works and the way I make films.
How did you meet with Brillante Mendoza?
When I was working in formerly it was called Solar News Channel. It's
right.
now CNN Philippines. So he was shooting a film there. Great director, Brillante Mendoza. I'm a fan of you. We had a long conversation.
Yes.
I asked him about filmmaking.
Right.
Yeah, and then later on, we became friends, and he invited me to his office, which is also his house. We drink and we chat a lot until he asked me if I'm interested in working in a film production. I said, I don't have any background, so maybe I won't be fit. But he said, no, it's okay. If you're willing to be trained, I'm going to train you. Just give me your commitment.
Of course, we know actors and actresses, we know directors. What is the role of the producer, and how would you define it?
The reason why I chose to become a producer, because as a producer, we help in story development. We help in finding funds for the director to make this film, and we make the film together with the director. So I would say that it's a responsibility more than the director.
Making sure that the movie can take,
right.
can be born, right? And it's particularly the case because if I remember correctly, the masterclass of Brillante Mendoza, he was talking about the preparation that goes into filmmaking. Basically, the role that you are describing is super important, in particular when you have very few days on set, right?
That is correct. The key there is to really plan religiously. Spend more time in pre-production so that when you shoot the film, everything will be smooth. If you don't plan everything, then it has a domino effect. It's gonna be a mess on your shoot. Whenever we make a film, we make sure that everything is well prepared, well organized. So I would say we really spend a lot of time in doing pre-production.
Let's take the example of Judgment that you shot with another director that went to Cannes and won a prize, short movie. How long did it take to shoot that particular short movie?
It took us like 5 days for that short film. The short film Judgment is a film by Raymond Gutierrez. He's a protege of Brillante. Prior to shooting that, we had spent so much time doing research and finding the good story out of it. So we interviewed a lot of people who experience abuse from domestic violence. It's really a good experience producing that short film because it's a product of hard work. Aside from Cannes, it also went to a lot of film festivals. It also went to Brussels. It also went to Toronto and won many awards.
There is another movie that I watched recently. It's a feature movie called Underground. Is it Underground? That is taking place in a cemetery.
Right. Underground is a film by Daniel Palacio. He is also a protege of Brillante Mendoza. That was his first feature film. It went to San Sebastian and it won a Special Mention Award. It also went to a lot of film festivals and won many awards.
Was it shot on location?
Well, yeah.
Here in Metro Manila?
It was shot in an actual cemetery in Pasig. We interviewed real families who were living in the cemetery.
If I took just two examples of movies that I just saw, but you can sense that they belong to the same family of movies. How would you define this? Because they are social movies describing the Philippines, projecting life in the Philippines. How would you call them? Are they neo-realists movies? Or are you afraid of labeling?
You are correct when you notice that it looks like it belongs to a same family. Our process is we interview real people. We develop the story out of it. Why we do this? Because we want to raise social awareness, make a difference, and make social impact in their lives.
How does the Filipino movie making compare to other countries, either in Asia or in Europe? What is your take on this?
So for me, the way we do films is different, especially Filipino independent films. It is more story-driven, and in terms of it is naturally done in terms of acting, in terms of the shots. It's more of naturally, artistically done.
And the cutting is different as well.
Yeah.
It's more similar to European movies with long sequencing, and I suppose, I'm not a specialist, but my take is that there are some similarities with certain movie makers in Europe. You also have main productions here, and you have been involved, if I'm not mistaken, in a Netflix series called Amo, which I had watched back in Europe already.
Wow.
The level of the production is different in terms of means, right?
It was still the same process we did.
Yes.
But the acquisition was different.
How many episodes are we talking?
13.
13.
For one season. So it was acquired by Netflix through TV5. So it was Netflix who paid TV5.
Right, they acquired
TV5.
for the catalog.
But normally Netflix would give huge amount of fund for a production.
When they are the producers.
When they are the producer. When they are the direct producer.
Is it something that is already happening in the Philippines? That Netflix is producing series or movies here in the Philippines, or short series?
I noticed that they acquired like finished contents already.
Finished contents.
I hope it would also happen here in the Philippines.
Yes, exactly. What they do, they do sometimes multi-country content.
Right.
That there will be actors from different countries, and this is typically the kind of series that they will try to produce. They do that in Europe, obviously, but I think in Asia there is such a market also that they could at some point think about it. You're right. Amo is the exception in the kind of content that
Right.
Netflix would acquire, but still it's there. Definitely, this is showcasing
Right.
Filipino production.
Until now.
Yeah, you're one of the filmmakers that is supported by the Film Development Council of the Philippines. I would like you to hear from you how this is helping in projecting your production in the larger world.
We're so thankful for having a Film Development Council of the Philippines, especially Chairperson Liza Dino and her team. She's been very supportive to the Philippine film industry ever since.
Well, it's very interesting what you're saying, that you were basically trained and retrained after you had already starting your career, which is, I guess, has given you even more of an appetite to learn
Right.
your profession
Right.
after you started actually
Right.
to be already successful.
Right. Actually, for me, filmmaking is a continuous learning. There's always a new things to learn. So in Busan, we studied about film financing and international co-production.
You mentioned something you did in 2019, and how did the COVID-19 pandemic impact your work?
I was lucky because in 2019, that was the year before the pandemic, I was able to go to Busan to study. And then when I went back here, after a few months, COVID came. The first day of the pandemic, I did a short film with my friend filmmaker in Cavite. The film is called The Guardians. We were lucky that even if it's pandemic, we were able to submit the film to film festivals online, got selected to film festivals. So the most notable for the short film The Guardians is it won the Best First-Time Director Award in Istanbul
Right?
Film Awards, and then it also won Best Producer Award in Sydney Short Film Festival. Also, previously before pandemic, we shot a short film. It's called Tarang, Life's Pedal, directed by Arvin Bellarmino. It's part of the Cine Fundacion residency program. It won the Best Short Film Award at the Interfilm Berlin International Film Festival.
So you're very successful. Let's put it that way. Is there any kind of advice that you would give to young Filipinos like you? You're still very young, but that would love to do what you do?
Just be nice to everyone. As you grow your network, you meet a lot of people, and it will reflect you as a person and your works.
I think what you say is super important because cinema is an art that is very unlike any others, that you need a lot of people to perform what you want to achieve.
Filmmaking is a collaborative process. It's about collaborating with amazing talents, putting all your skills together for you to be able to make successful film.
Thank you so much, Carlo, and we look forward to inviting you as one of our resource persons in our own education component of Cine Europa. And we will really value your advice. All the best to you.
Thank you so much. It's really an honor to meet you, and thank you so much for having me here.
The privilege is entirely mine. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You can walk anywhere you want.
The director wants to walk.
There is a dog outside. Did you see my dog?
Oh, not yet.
Not yet. So this is a lanai.